this wonderful, blissful evening. All of us just had a very powerful morning in Babaji's cave, and now this evening we are going to relive the moment that made this place sacred. This is the birthplace of Kriya Yoga for our age, and the origin of our path, it traces back to that one incident when Larry Masha met Babaji at the cave and he was initiated into Kriya. It started by Jesus communing with Babaji, but of course we don't know when or where or what plane it happened. But really, on the material plane, it all started in 1861, in November of 1861, when Larry Masha met Babaji in this cave. So this evening we are going to offer to you a theatrical presentation of what happened that day, and all the characters and everything will be obvious, and there'll be a lot of music woven into it. So sit back, enjoy, and feel the presence and feel the power of what happened that day, which is still happening. We are all being blessed by Babaji, just the way Babaji blessed Larry Masha, and the promise that he gave Larry Masha, that anybody who sincerely practices Kriya, Babaji is blessing and guiding them. So, with that, Nawashin will be the storyteller who will guide the evening, and then other characters of the cast you will understand as they all step onto the dais. Paramasukhalam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Sadgurum Tam of joy, sweet songs of sadness, of quenchless yearning for the light, for my love, your true home. Long your heart has played the dancer, long you toyed with mirror shadows of the treasures left behind you, deep in your soul. Long you plumbed the dark for answers, long you begged from beggars' empty hands, gifts of life they too were seeking, gifts none could share. Friend, how long will you wander? Friend, as long as you seek your home in a land where all are strangers. my saint, wake up, reclaim the light, seek the truth behind all seeming. Leave to the weakest grave and life, to the coward leave his dreaming. Oh, my saint, wake up, reclaim the light, seek the truth behind all seeming. Turn, turn, turn within, in silence of soul, in cave of love, find my abode. Whispering within your soul, hints of laughter, hints of joy, sweet songs of sadness, of quenchless yearning for the light, for my love, your true home.
Babaji's first meeting with Lahiri Mahashaya is an enthralling story, and one of the few that gives us a detailed glimpse of the deathless Guru. These words were Swami Kebalananda's preamble to a wondrous tale. Every time Swami Kebalananda recounted this story, Yogananda was literally spellbound. Many times he coaxed his gentle Sanskrit tutor to repeat the story. He later heard this story in substantially the same words by Swami Sri Yukteswar. Both these disciples of Lahiri Mahashaya had heard the awesome tale directly from the lips of their guru. Lahiri's first meeting with Babaji took place in his 33rd year. In the autumn of 1861, he was stationed at Danapur as a government accountant in the military engineering department. One morning, the office manager summoned him.
Lahiri, a telegram has just come from our main office. You are to be transferred to Raniket, where an army post is now being established.
With one servant, Lahiri set out on the 500-mile trip. Traveling by horse and buggy, they arrived in 30 days at the Himalayan site of Raniket.
I have a love who's far away, far away, far away. I have a love who's far away, though farther away than the stars. And yet she's stolen my heart away, heart away, heart away. Yet she's stolen my heart away, though farther away than the stars. Keep me not bound here, teach me to fly far from earth's madness, freer I die. Keep Let me not bow, no, teach me to fly farther away than the stars. There's nothing here nearly so dear, nearly so dear, nearly so dear. There's nothing here nearly so dear as her laughter away in the stars.
His office duties were not onerous. He was able to spend many hours roaming in the magnificent hills. A rumor reached him that great saints blessed the region with their presence. He felt a strong desire to see them. During a ramble one early afternoon, he was astounded to hear a distant voice calling his name. He continued his vigorous upward climb on Dunagiri mountain. A slight uneasiness beset him at the thought that he might not be able to retrace his steps before darkness descended over the jungle. He finally reached a small clearing whose sides were dotted with caves. On one of the rocky ledges stood a smiling young man, extending his hand in welcome. He noticed with astonishment that, except for his copper-colored hair, he bore a remarkable resemblance to Lahiri himself.
Lahiri, you have come. Rest here in this cave. It was I who called you.
Lahiri entered a neat little grotto that contained several woolen blankets and a few begging bowls.
Lahiri, do you remember that seat?
No, sir. I must leave now. Just before nightfall. I have business in the morning at my office.
The office was brought for you, and not you for the office.
Lahiri was dumbfounded that this forest ascetic should not only speak English, but also paraphrase the words of Christ.
I see my telegram took effect.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand what you mean.
Well, I refer to the telegram that summoned you to these isolated parts. It was I who silently suggested to the mind of your superior that you be transferred to Ranikhet. When one feels unity with mankind, all minds become transmitting stations through which he can work at will. Lahiri, surely this cave seems familiar to you.
Past life memories then came floodlight to his mind.
I remember. I remember you were my guru, Babaji, who has belonged to me always. Scenes of the past arise vividly in my mind. Here in this cave, I've spent many years of my last incarnation.
Long I've called you, my Lord. Long I've called you. Many years I have longed for your sight. Bathe the darkness with tears of devotion. Offered candles in prayer to your light. How much longer, friend, must I cry your name? I am yours.
in prayer to your light. How much longer, friend, must I cry your name? I am yours, ever yours. Will you come?
For more than 3 decades, Lahiri, I have waited for you here, waited for you to return to me. Oh, you slipped away and vanished into the tumultuous waves of the life beyond death. The magic wand of your karma touched you, and you were gone. Though you lost sight of me, never did I lose sight of you. I pursued you over the luminescent astral sea, where the glorious angels sail. Through gloom, storm, upheaval and light, I followed you, like a mother bird guarding her young. As you lived out your human term of womb life and emerged a babe, my eye was ever on you. When you covered your tiny form in the lotus posture under the Nadia sands in your childhood, I was invisibly present. Patiently, month after month, year after year, I have watched over you, waiting for this perfect day. Now you are with me. Lo, here is your cave, loved of yore. I have kept it ever clean and ready for you. Here is your hallowed asana blanket, where you daily sat to fill your expanding heart with God. Behold there your bowl, from which you often drank the nectar prepared by me. See how I have kept the brass cup brightly polished, that you might drink again therefrom. My own, do you now understand?
My Guru, what can I say? Where has one ever heard of such deathless love?
Lahiri, you need purification. Drink the oil in this bowl and lie down by the river.
Lahiri obeyed his directions. Though the icy Himalayan night was descending, a comforting warmth, an inner radiation, began to pulsate in every cell of his body. He marveled. Was the unknown oil endued with the cosmical heat? Bitter winds whipped around him in the darkness, shrieking a fierce challenge. The chill wavelets of the Gogash River lapped now and then over his body, outstretched on the rocky bank. Tigers howled nearby, but his heart was free of fear. The radiant force, newly generated within him, conveyed an assurance of unassailable protection. Several hours passed swiftly. Faded memories of another life wove themselves into the present brilliant pattern of reunion with his divine Guru. His solitary musings were interrupted by the sound of approaching footsteps. In the darkness, a man's hand gently helped him to his feet and gave him some dry clothing.
Come, brother, the master awaits you.
He led the way through the forest. The somber night was suddenly lit by a steady luminosity in the distance.
Can that be the sunrise? Surely the whole night hasn't passed.
No, the hour is midnight. Yonder light is the glow of a golden palace, materialized here tonight by the peerless Babaji. In the dim past, you once expressed a desire to enjoy the beauties of a palace. Our master is now satisfying your wish, thus freeing you from the bonds of karma. The magnificent palace will be the scene of your initiation tonight into Kriya Yoga. All your brothers here join in a paean of welcome rejoicing at the end of your long exile. Behold!
A vast palace of dazzling gold stood before them, studded with countless jewels and set amidst landscape gardens, presented a spectacle of unparalleled grandeur. Saints of angelic countenance were stationed by resplendent gates, half reddened by the glitter of rubies, diamonds, pearls, sapphires, and emeralds of great size and luster were embedded in the decorative arches. Lahiri followed his companion into a spacious reception hall. The odor of incense and roses wafted through the air. Dim lamps shed a multicolored glow. Small groups of devotees, some fair, some dark-skinned, chanted musically or sat in meditative posture, immersed in an inner peace. A vibrant joy pervaded the atmosphere.
Feast your eyes. Enjoy the artistic splendors of this palace, for it has been brought into being solely in your honor.
Brother, the beauty of this structure surpasses the bounds of human imagination. Please tell me the mystery of its origin.
I will gladly enlighten you. You see, in reality, there is nothing inexplicable about this materialization. The whole cosmos is materialized thought of the Creator. This heavy earthly clod floating in space is a dream of God. He made all things out of this consciousness, even as man, in dream consciousness, reproduces and vivifies a creation with its creatures. God first created the earth as an idea. Then he quickened it. Energy atoms came into being. He coordinated the atoms into this solid sphere, all its molecules held together by the will of God. When he withdraws his will, the earth again will disintegrate into energy. Energy will dissolve into consciousness, and the earth idea will disappear from objectivity. The substance of a dream is held in materialization by the subconscious thought of the dreamer. When the cohesive thought is withdrawn in wakefulness, the dream and its elements dissolve. A man closes his eyes and erects a dream creation, which on awakening, he effortlessly dematerializes. He follows a divine archetypal pattern. Similarly, when he awakens in cosmic consciousness, he will effortlessly dematerialize the illusions of the cosmic dream. Being one with the infinite, all-accomplishing will, Babaji can summon the elemental atoms to combine and manifest themselves in any form. This golden palace, instantaneously created, is real even as this earth is real. Babaji created this palatial mansion out of his mind and is holding its atoms together by the power of his will, even as God created this earth and is maintaining it intact. When this structure has served its purpose, Babaji will dematerialize it. This shimmering palace, superbly embellished with jewels, has not been built by human effort or with laboriously mined gold and gems. It stands solidly, monumental challenge to man. Whosoever realizes himself as a son of God, even as Babaji has done, can reach any goal by the infinite powers hidden within him. A common stone locks within itself the secret of stupendous atomic energy. Even so, a mortal is yet a powerhouse of divinity.
Now picking up from a nearby table, a vase with a handle studded with diamonds.
Our great guru created this palace by solidifying myriads of cosmic rays. Touch this vase and its diamonds. They will satisfy all the tests of sensory experience.
Lahiri examined the vase and passed his hand over the smooth room walls, thick with glistening gold. Each of the jewels scattered lavishly about was worthy of a king's collection. Deep satisfaction spread over his mind. A submerged desire, hidden in his subconsciousness from lives now gone, seemed simultaneously gratified and extinguished. Lahiri's companion now led him through an ornate arches and corridors into a series of chambers richly furnished in the style of an emperor's palace. They entered an immense hall. In the center stood a golden throne, encrusted with jewels, shedding a dazzling medley of colors. There, in lotus posture, sat the supreme Babaji. They knelt on the shining floor at his feet.
Lahiri, are you still feasting on your dream desires for a golden palace? Wake! All your earthly thirsts are about to be quenched forever. My son, arise, receive your initiation into the kingdom of God through Kriya Yoga.
Roses to the left, roses to the right, roses front and behind. Rose, rose, roses.
The rites were completed in the early dawn. Lahiri felt no need for sleep in his ecstatic state and wandered around the palace, filled on all sides with treasures and priceless objects of art. Descending to the gorgeous gardens, he noticed nearby the same caves and barren mountain ledges which yesterday had boasted no adjacency to palace or flower terrace. Re-entering the palace, fabulously glistened in the cold Himalayan sunlight, Lahiri sought the presence of his master. He was still enthroned, surrounded by many quiet disciples.
Oh, Lahiri, you are hungry. Close your eyes.
When Lahiri reopened his eyes, the enchanting palace and its picturesque gardens had disappeared. His own body and the forms of Babaji and the cluster of chelas were all now seated on the bare ground at the exact site of the vanished palace, not far from the sunlit entrances of the rocky grottos. He recalled that his guide had remarked that the palace would be dematerialized, its captive atoms released into the thought essence from which it had sprung. Although stunned, he looked trustingly at his guru. He knew not what to expect next on this day of miracles.
Don't be so surprised, Lahiri. The purpose for which the palace was created has now been served. Now put your hand here and receive whatever food you desire.
As soon as he touched the broad empty bowl, it became heaped with hot butter-fried luchis, curry, and rare sweetmeats. Lahiri helped himself, observing that the vessel was ever filled. At the end of his meal, he looked around for water. His guru pointed again to the bowl before him. Lo, the food had vanished. In its place was water, clear as from a mountain stream.
Don't look so surprised. Few mortals know that the kingdom of God includes the kingdom of mundane fulfillments. The divine realm extends to the earthly, but the latter, being illusory, cannot include the essence of reality.
That afternoon, Lahiri sat on his blanket, hallowed by associations of past life realizations. Babaji approached and passed his hand over Lahiri's head. He entered the Nirvikalpa Samadhi state, remaining unbrokenly in its bliss for 7 days. Crossing the successive strata of self-knowledge, he penetrated the deathless realms of reality. All delusive limitations dropped away. His soul was fully established on the eternal altar of the cosmic spirit. On the 8th day, he fell at his guru's feet and implored Babaji to be with him in the sacred wilderness.
Arise, my son. Alas, your role in this incarnation must be played on an outward stage. Prenatally blessed by many lives of lonely meditation, you must now mingle in the world of men. A deep purpose underlay the fact that you did not meet me this time until you were already a married man with modest business responsibilities. You must put aside You must put aside your thoughts of joining our secret band in the Himalayas. Your life lies in the crowded marts, serving as an example of the ideal yogi householder. The cries of many bewildered worldly men and women have not fallen unheard on the ears of the great ones. You have been chosen to bring spiritual solace through Kriya Yoga through numerous earnest seekers. The millions who are encumbered by family ties and heavy worldly duties will take new heart from you. A householder just like themselves. You must guide them to see that the highest yogic attainments are not barred to the family man. Even in the world, the yogi who faithfully discharges his duties treads the sure path of enlightenment. No necessity compels you to leave the world, for inwardly you have already sundered its every karmic tie. Not of this world, you must be in it. Many years still remain, during which you must conscientiously fulfill your family, business, civic, and spiritual duties. A sweet new breath of divine hope will penetrate the arid hearts of worldly men. From your balanced life, Lahiri, they will understand that liberation is dependent on inner rather than outer renunciations.
From the depths of slumber, as I ascend the spiral stairway of wakefulness, I will whisper, God, God, God. Thou art the food, and when I break my fast of nightly separation from thee, I will taste thee and mentally say, God, God, God. No matter where I go, the spotlight of my mind will ever keep turning on thee, and in the battle din of activity, my silent war cry will be, God, God, God. When boisterous storms of trials shriek, and when worries howl at me, I will drown their noises, loudly chanting, God, God, God. When my mind weaves dreams with threads of memories, on that magic cloth will I emboss, God, God, God. When my mind weaves dreams on that magic cloth will I emboss, God, God, God. In waking, eating, working, dreaming, sleeping, serving, meditating, chanting, divinely loving, my soul will constantly hum, unheard by any. God, 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 God.
As you go out into the world, Lahiri, bestow the Kriya key only on qualified chelas. He who vows to sacrifice all in the quest of the divine is fit to unravel the final mysteries of life through the science of meditation.
Angelic Guru, as you have already favored mankind by resurrecting the lost Kriya art, will you not increase that benefit by relaxing the strict requirements for discipleship? I pray that you permit me to communicate Kriya to all seekers, even though at first they cannot vow themselves to complete inner renunciation. The tortured men and women of the world, pursued by the threefold suffering, need special encouragement. They may never attempt the road to freedom if Kriya initiation be withheld from them.
Be it so. The divine wish has been expressed through you.
With these simple words, the merciful Guru banished the rigorous safeguards that for ages had hidden Kriya from the world.
Give Kriya freely to all who humbly ask for help. Repeat to each of your disciples this majestic promise from the Bhagavad Gita. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even a little bit of the practice of this religion will save you from dire fears and colossal sufferings.
All your children, mother, call you, knowing not it's you they call. Some through mists of their unknowing, bruised and hurting when they fall, turn away, but who can leave you? You, the mother of us all. If the child forgets its mother, will she coldly turn away? Wise or foolish, rear your children. Guide us, mother, if we stray. Those whose hearts are torn with anguish, lack the power your name to call. Heal their wounds, Mom, soothe their sorrows. You, the mother of us all. Heal their wounds, Mom, soothe their sorrows. You, the mother of us all.
The next morning, as Lahiri knelt at his Guru's feet for his farewell blessing, Babaji sensed his deep reluctance to depart.
There is no separation for us, my child. Wherever you are, whenever you call me, I shall be with you instantly.
Consoled by his wondrous promise, and rich with the newly found gold of God wisdom, Lahiri wended his way down the mountain. At the office, he was welcomed by his fellow employees, who for 10 days had thought him lost in the Himalayan jungles. A letter soon arrived from the head office. Lahiri should return to the Danapur office. His transfer to Raniket occurred by error. Another man should have been sent to assume the Raniket duties. Lahiri smiled, reflecting on the hidden cross-currents in the events that had led him to this furthermost spot of India.
In thy heart, lotus feet of thy Guru. In thy heart, lotus feet of thy Guru. If you want to cross the ocean of delusion, if you want to cross the ocean of delusion, shaming the white lotus in purity, shaming the white lotus in purity, beyond all duality, Guru, image of Brahma, deliver us from delusion. Guru, image of Brahma, deliver us from delusion. Think in thy heart, lotus feet of thy Guru. Think in thy heart, lotus feet of thy Guru. If you want to cross the ocean of delusion, if you want to cross the ocean of delusion, shaming the white lotus in purity, shaming the white lotus in purity, beyond all duality, Guru, image of Brahma, deliver us from delusion. Guru, image of Brahma, deliver us from delusion. Think in thy heart, lotus feet of thy Guru. Think